Hello everybody, today's December 14th, 2011. What a incredible day today. Blood in the streets for commodities. Silver's down 8% at one point this morning. Gold was down 4% at one point. And I'm sure there were numerous people running towards the exits with their latest issue of the Gartman letter in hand, as I just sat like a fisherman standing in front of the Bass Pro Shop looking at a 50% off fishing pole sign with a huge grin, because I've done my homework. I know why I'm buying precious metals. I'm not speculating. I'm not getting in and getting out and trying to trade the precious metals. The number one reason to own precious metals, in my opinion, is as a preservation of wealth. You know, it's not even really good to look at it as an investment. I know that longer term, the metals are going to be a lot higher. And that's evidenced by the information I'm going to give you coming out of China. Incredible news coming out of China yesterday that just supports the fact that any huge drop in gold price is just a big buying opportunity. It's a buying opportunity for the people who understand what's happening. For the speculators, you know, someone who bought because somebody told them to get in on the market, you know, they're tripping out when you get in at 33 and then, you know, silver drops to 28. They're like, man, what did I do? I made a mistake. And they get out just before it turns around and shoots back up on them. It doesn't do any good to try and trade the silver market. Now, I have people that disagree with me. They say, you know, you just go with the trend. If gold's trending down, then you short it, or you get out of your long position. And whatever, you can try and trade it. That's not what I do. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about long term. You know, I was recently looking at a video I did on silver fall madness. Well, I was wrong. I'm wrong on a lot of short-term predictions, but on the longer term ones, I've been right, and that's what's most important. This is not, you know, this is not a short-term. Gartman's been wrong, Peter Schiff's been correct and incorrect on short-term predictions. No one's 100% right on short-term. So the short-term, you always have to take with a grain of salt. You need to do your own homework and, you know, make the best decision that's right for you. I can tell you one thing: if the price of gold and silver, well, I don't know so much about gold, but definitely silver, price gets too low, it's going to be hard to find. Because there's a total disconnect between the paper markets and the physical markets, and the spot price is based off the paper markets. So, you know, the physical demand is huge for physical silver right now, and for gold also. The bottom line is, U.S. is 15.1 trillion in debt. We're bankrupt. European nations, a bunch of them, bankrupt. It's going to take trillions of dollars to bail them out and to keep us operational. And that money's going to have to come from the printing press. When the day comes where the U.S. can't borrow from anybody to stay operational because they're not going to lend them to them because they're too big of a risk, that's when you're going to want to be holding on to something real and tangible. I would imagine that most people don't even think it's possible that their 401ks could be snatched up. It's happened in other countries. They snatched up the gold we had. That was our private property in 1933. And to save the banking system, they snatched up our gold. They took the citizens' gold away from them. They said, oh, it's now illegal to have real money. You got to use this paper crap. You don't think that they could take your accounts in the banks, or your bank could go bust and they say, oh, sorry? That's why I did a video on being your own central bank. Owning silver and gold is so crucial with what's ahead, in my opinion, from all the studying that I've done. And the people watching this right now, most of them, the subscribers of this channel, they know all the stuff that I'm saying. You know, when I started this channel, I wasn't expecting it to end up the way it is now. When I started it, I was thinking, wow, I've read all these books. I need to try and inform people of what's happening. So I came out with some videos trying to say, you know, the dollar's going to crash and this and that. Well, it is. The time horizon. You can't be specific on the timing on that, but I was basically just trying to inform people of the pending danger that was in the future for the paper money, and that owning gold and silver would be important. Now, I'm not really trying to warn anybody anymore because most of the subscribers already know all that. It's just me pretty much doing videos that just reaffirm what we're doing. Like this information. China has not reported their gold consumption, or they haven't reported their reserve holdings in 2.5 years. So we don't really know how much gold's going into China, but we do see numbers coming out of Hong Kong, and we can use those numbers as a leading indicator of what's heading, of what's happening in mainland China. So in the last 4 months, we've had 4 consecutive records in the gold imports into Hong Kong. We just had 85.7 tons in October imported into Hong Kong. That's a lot of gold. That supports us continuing to buy precious metals. The demand is huge in China. In 2007, they became the largest producer of gold, overtaking South Africa. And in 2012, they may become the biggest consumer, passing India's colossal demand. So the China story is huge. I looked up that 85.7 tons. That's 5 tons more than all of the gold held on reserve in the country of Australia. They just imported that in 1 month. That's totally incredible. And that was 40 times more than what was imported a year ago, October 2010. It was 50% more than September, which was in itself a record. Now, if you look at, I think it was June, July, August, or July, August, September, I don't know, 3 of those months, right around the summer, they imported 140 tons. That's 20 tons more than all of 2010. And you got to remember, 2010 was 500% more, the first 10 months, than the first 10 months of 2009. So it's just steadily increasing. It's incredible the amount of gold that's being imported into China. Another thing with the China story is that we're only on the heels of the peak gold buying season. Little golden dragons are just starting to show up in shops everywhere because the year of the dragon starts January 23rd. So we're coming up on the peak gold buying, and we're already seeing these outstanding huge numbers of gold that's heading into China. So the demand is there for the precious metals, and people watching this channel, they know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing, and if we're all wrong, then God help us, because I don't know where else you're going to turn than the biggest safe haven in the past 5,000 years.